Hey, I wasn't sure if it would work. Okay, that kind of worked. I am debating whether or not I should be lazy. So, the lazy option is I make markers. I am positioning the Seacat missiles on the quad launcher. So, one method I can do is to create these markers, run it through a program called Rigger, and from that it will go and give me all the coordinates, so I don't have to do all the messing around. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so I got my 4 points. I mean, they're not the perfect height. I can fix it. So to make this work, what I do is I then gotta save it. I gotta save this. And then I'm just gonna move them around. Normally I position them straight in the center, but what will happen is when I save this, I'll use the Object Ripper program, Riggers program. Yeah. So I'll use that program, and it will compare the two OBJ files, and it will go and look at same name directories. So in the object list over on the right hand side, there's cylinder.001, etc. And it will go and compare the position data on them. This is fantastic if you're working with any aircraft, because basically all you do is like before you set up your ailerons, your elevators, or anything like that, you save it as like this is what you want as your final product. Then you position everything into the pivot access points, and you run it through this program. It will give you all the coordinates. It's fantastic. Okay. Could you tell me if that's still working without me pushing the button? I just turned the push to talk part off. Gotta clean this up. There it is. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. Just go and pick my you picked your movement position one first, and then for the next one, you pick the setup model. It pretty much does this little thing. You close this, you open up the output, and Bob's your uncle. Now it's gonna throw out a few random shit like these rotation data points. They're useless. They have no importance to me. And I don't know how well these positions have worked. I don't think it's worked at all, actually. I think what I need to do is clear all these. Oh, this does it for everything. So not another Ave wrote this program up. And cool. I think there's a bit of a delay in terms of when I'm seeing your chats, but hey. Yeah, so not another Ave. He wrote it up for me because when I was working on the S2 tracker, I had just finished working on, I think, the A4 model and trying to set it up, and it drove me nuts. Putting all the positions in place and everything like that, it just drove me nuts. Like, you just spend hours fixing all these rotations and get the animations to work properly. You have to go and have them on very unusual rotation points that hurts the brain to go and work backwards with at times, especially if you've saved your work and like you saved the OBJ into an OBJ file, and it loses its origin point when you do that. Which, like, if I save things in Blender, which I always forget to do, it all works out. It remembers its origin points, but that would require me to actually remember that shit. Okay. Alright, let's try this all again. Just because I don't quite trust what I put in there. Yeah, that looked a lot better. Alright, so let's go back to here. And okay, yeah, these are a bit extreme in terms of number of decimal points that they give, but hey, it works. and this is also I'm waiting for Abe to do the next his next update. But basically, he's going to be including things like the mesh and material and stuff like that into this output directory. So what will happen then is you can, when you set up a custom model, you just run it through the rigger, and then you can just copy and paste that, more or less the output, and have most of that, most of those submodels all done for you already. I'll be honest, I have not looked at the vegan yet. And okay. That did not have the intended results. They are stacked up on each other on the wrong axis. Okay, that's not too bad then. So they're all stacked up on that. So I need to translate that into, I think, the x-axis. The high axis. So I want the lower one. I want probably around. Let's say. It's mostly squared, so in theory, if this doesn't work, I'll just have to put it all in by hand. And they got. Going inside apparently. Okay. Okay, my plan of not having to do as much work has just failed. actually, I know what I've done wrong with the rigger program, is it's not 100% set up for working with parents. So it's trying to assume that everything's all in this is you know, all using the same origin point. But once you start using parents and all that stuff in the INI files, it changes all of that stuff. Changes the origin point, which then can mess up all of the coordinates. And actually, not quite. So I'm just gonna rig all this stuff up, and then that's going to be my job for tonight, basically. Just finish getting this set up, and then I can pass this on to the guys to use for whatever they need to do. Okay, so X, Y, and Z. Z is being used for height. Y was being used for depth. Translate very well. Okay. It's 9 PM at the moment. What button did I just press? There we go. Yeah, it's 9 PM in Australia. Well, in Central Australian time, that is. If you were going to go down to Melbourne, it'd be 9:30, same as Sydney, and Brisbane is it's either 9:30 or it's 8:30 in Brisbane. They don't do daylight savings, so they're a bit they have their own times. So despite Adelaide being at 9.5 GMT, sometimes we are ahead of them. Oh. Okay, well, they are not centered yet. But if I go and just get the so if I take the position data, and yes, I know it's not Notepad plus plus plus. But you know, I am old and determined to just keep using stuff that I remember and know. Get rid of those. set a little bit too much height. Okay. There will be a few versions of the Leander done at a later date. So, because there's the batch 1, the batch 2, and the batch 3. And the main things is batch 1 is pretty much this kind of setup, you see? Has the gun in the front. Batch 2 replaces that with the Seawolf system or an extra Seacat system in the front. Some of them even have the Exocet launchers there, and I think that's batch 3. So I've made a few different little parts and stuff here and there. But the main things that are still left to go on this model is I need to do the rigging, add in a few other little details. And that's probably about it for this model. Rotatable. I think I probably forgot to put in container bases rotatable. Yeah. can't be right. There is no way the sea cat's minimal range is that small. Normally, like, the yellow means minimal range, and the red is the kill range. So there's got to be something wrong with that.
Roger. Turn 011. On station. Engage track 1036.
Yeah, it wasn't like that before. If I bring up the Alvin, that is weird. Okay. That's telling me that for some reason the ammo that's being used is the stats on it are wrong. I don't know why. It should only be one. I should only have one sea cat thing in here. Yeah, it's not even edited. I didn't change the magazine or anything, or the ammo in this thing. Yep, it's still pulling its ammo from the magazine, which is loaded up with the standard Seacat missile, which is what the Alvin is using. It's, I don't know why they're reversed. Because range and everything all comes from the missile, and it's using the Seacat. It's just using the basic Seacat. What's the Alvin? Yep. That's the same thing. Why is it bugged out? It should not be bugged out, but for some reason it is. Oh, all the weapons bugged out on this thing. Except for the guns, apparently. Ah, great. Okay, so anything in here that's using missiles is bugged. Why? I don't know. but it's getting smaller. Okay. Maybe it's just the game decided to be dodgy. Hopefully. Nope. Okay. Okay, so there's something in here that does anything to the weapon, so I don't know what could be causing the issue. The only thing I can think of is change that. Let's just change it back. CCAT's one of the few systems that actually uses coordinates within the actual weapon INI, whereas most other missile systems they'll use their position coordinates using containers. Even that's still broken. Okay. This one's the rough sea, but it's very broken at the moment. I have not got around to actually setting it up. This is what happens when you just try to go and glue, try to paste in just another model in there. Everything breaks. So I'm going to have to fix it at some point. Oh, and that's right, it doesn't even have a collider. So I can't even right click it. Oh, actually I can't right click because it's broken. Ah. I can't think of anything that's different between the regular game files and the Leander at the moment. It should all be the same. They're all using the exact same ammunition file. The ammunition file is where all the ranges come from. So I don't understand why the Leander is bugged. It should just be set up pretty much the same. The only thing I can think of is the associated sensor, which on here at the moment is 5 and 6. And they are the standard. So let's do a test. There's the itty bitty range. Disabled the sensors. Huh. Okay. It's the it was the sensors that's fucked up. sensor, whatever the fire control thing is associated with them, that's what's stuffing up their range. Okay, that's something I'll have to have a look at another time. In the meantime, let's put that back to quad. Let's get ourselves some targets.
All back. Emerge. I'll stop. Maneuvering eye.
So, yes and no. So if you want to work out the full length, maximum range potential that you have, that's all decided by the actual ammunition file. But the sensors do dictate when it can be used. So you can set your ammunition to go really, really far, but you need to have some way of guiding it to that range. And I don't know what's happened to the CCAT fire director systems that were working the other day. I probably just copied and pasted over at some point, or it got changed in the sense of INI file. But yeah, they got broken at some point. But hey, at least I know
Engaging
what it
track
is.
1007.
Which means I should be able to fix it.
Ceasefire track. Engaging track 1006. Ceasefire track. I'll stop. Maneuvering eye. Engaging track 1008.
Okay, and that's bugged out for a moment. Sometimes you get like bugs where like the weapons, they just don't want to work. They just absolutely refuse to do anything. And I am gonna have to at some point also. Restart the game. I've got no frames at the moment.
Engage track 1004. Ahead standard. Maneuvering eye. Engaging track 1004.
Okay. Now this one fire. It's probably because I don't have this. It doesn't have a sensor system attached to it. Normally it doesn't matter. So, what have you been working on, Seabase? I do recall you working on the vegan, and I know you've got something else in the works at the moment. I can't think of it off the top of my head at the moment, though. Oh hey, daring class. Type O52C. Oh, okay. You're planning on putting up against the air warfare destroyer then? Five and six. There we go. Okay, now hopefully I can get some target practice, see if the animations will work.
Engage track 1. Birds away, track. Track
Ah,
1008.
interesting. Okay, it twists, but it didn't rotate. Why did it not rotate? lot of stuff, you know, we can't just, well, I guess most Western cultures would be the correct way of saying it, can access, because part of it is just the language barrier. Certainly makes it more difficult to go and work out what's what, because not everything translates very well. So having people who can understand, like, can bridge that gap is incredibly handy. That should just rotate. Why does it not rotate?
Engage track 1. Burns away, track 1005. Engage track 1008.
Seawolf does it, no problem.
Track 1008 is history.
This should just be doing more or less the same thing. As to why it's not... Why it's decided it's not doing that, I don't know. Yet. It's not supposed to be fearless. It should not be fearless, but yeah, apparently. Oh, it's nearly over. Yeah, it's just 2 pieces. And this thing should be exactly the same. Although... Now that I'm looking at it... It does need to rotate. So what year is the Type 052?
Engage track 1. Burns away, track 1005.
Okay. Don't really keep... Well, I mean, my main focus is generally sticking with the Cold War era stuff. That's why I've got the Daring class there. and I've built the Leander, the Rothsey. The continuously big project Melbourne aircraft carrier. And don't ask me about why all this stuff glows. It's apparently like an angle thing. So if I go and put like, yeah, these are just the standard like whole numbers, and they glow as well. So when you look at it from above, it's fine. Look at it from down low, at certain angles, it's high vis reflective material. But this thing is most of the way done. We've got all the animations set up for the S2 tracker. I've just finished doing the loadouts on the tracker now. The A4s, they just need their loadouts finished up, and that's pretty much all that's left on them. I have an error that I need to fix up on the Wessex here, or the H34, depending on what you want to call it. This is probably more closer to a H34 in design than actual Wessex, because this top grille is, yeah, I copied basically, I copied a H34 by accident. And yeah, so it's a lot more closer to that than an actual Wessex. Proper Wessex, they have their they got their grille on the bottom, and the main difference is the Sikorsky H34 are using a piston engine, and then the Wessex, the Westland Wessex version, they're using a turboprop. Yeah, so I just got to fix that. But this thing's, most of its loadouts are done. I just got to add the ATGM missiles to it, because I could use like SS-11s, and we've got those modeled now. So we've got them on the Wasp at the moment. I just got to go and add it in. But yeah, so largely the Melbourne all works for the most part. I need to go around and reorganize the elevators. Yeah. I gotta reorganize the elevators because at the moment, so the forward lift and rear lifters 1 and 2, I need to change them to 8 and 9, because what happens is when you set up deck parks, which is what's happened with all these aircraft that you can see on the deck, they're all single-use hangars, essentially. Single vehicle hangars is what they've been set up as. And the issue that I come across is sometimes if it can't find the right taxi path to get back, it will double stack in one of these spots, which obviously is not great. So currently it's this S2 doesn't return back to its home. It goes and double stacks in this one. They're all set to single vehicle only, but yeah, for some reason that's what they want to do. So I just got to go back and look at the taxi parks and taxi paths and just fix all that stuff up. It is a headache going through all that stuff though, which is why I keep procrastinating. I'm working on other shit. But I mean, the A4 is nearly done. It's got all our animations and everything done. And the Mirage, I need to go on build pylons for it, and then Longbow is going to finish this off for me. He has already gone through and he's done some basic weapon setups. Cookie Saurus has done an A4C, which doesn't match up to the one that goes on the Melbourne. What else? Don't have a lot of loadouts for the Wessex. Basically just torpedoes, sonar buoys, and tipping sonar. Then we got the Wasp, which actually does have a few different setups. We have torpedoes. Or we have some Salcos, the SS 11 or 12s. And the S2 comes in. I need to add a few more loadouts though. So I need to add a heavy ASW loadout, which is what you see. Which comes with torpedoes in the bomb bay, and it can carry 4 depth charges. Then also, it can carry, this thing was supposed to be able to carry rockets and stuff. It could carry up to 2,000 pounds of ordnance as well. So I've got it set up with 4 500-pound bombs. So potentially speaking, with the Melbourne, you've got 2 strike options. You got the A4s, which can do strike options, and then you also got the trackers, which can help with that stuff. Wouldn't recommend it, but it's an option, right? And when the Melbourne does come out, oh, that's right, I haven't set it up yet. Vampire, HMAS Vampire, which can be found out in Sydney Harbour, will be included in that, in the Melbourne mod pack. I would not say it's a very capable ship. It's definitely not. It's the old. It's a gun only ship. It's comparable to a Fram 2 Gearing, only it doesn't have any anti-ship weaponry. Sorry, anti-submarine weaponry either. Can't do ASW because they took the limbo launchers off. So back during its 1970 refit, they extended this out. This section here was where the limbo launchers used to be. And apparently, I don't know where they put it, they apparently had a CCAT system installed on the Daring as well. I don't know where. I can't find any documentation to show me like where the system was. But apparently it did. And that's annoying. Is that a lighting bug? No. Okay. That is likely a UV bug. I'll have to go through and see if I can work out what's causing that. unfortunately, I just keep giving myself more projects. Now, back to the sea cat problem. Alright, see you man, you have a good night. Or good day.